But Saiyan 4 on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is, without a doubt, the one Awoken skill that we've wanted for the longest amount of time on this game. It may not be your personal favorite or the one that you personally want the most in this game, but without a doubt, there is no Awoken that we've wanted longer in Xenoverse 2 than Super Saiyan 4, because really the only one that comes close to competing with it would be Pure Progress from Hit. But even that, we didn't get that in the game until I believe the first or second DLC update. We wanted Super Saiyan 4 in this game since day one. Day one, people have been talking about about Super Saiyan 4 on Xenoverse 2, and here we are almost 7 years later, and we do not have it. So to me, personally, what I would like to see in DLC 17, if we were to actually get an Awoken skill, would be without a doubt Super Saiyan 4, because for me it is definitely my favorite overall Awoken besides Gohan's version of Super Saiyan 2, Team Gohan that is, because I still live on this hill to this day, that his Super Saiyan 2 was a bit different than everyone else's. I mean, his hair and the amount that his hair actually spiked was just on a whole nother level from any other Super Saiyan 2 that we've seen in the anime till this point in time, right? So to me, again, Super Saiyan 4 is my favorite overall Awoken because the aesthetic of it is just so fire. So I definitely would love to see it in DLC 17, and it is long, and I mean long, overdue at this point in time. Like I said, almost 7 years ago this game came out, and we've been wanting it since day one when it did come out almost 7 years ago. So in today's video, what I want to talk about is how I think that this Awoken skill should work if it were to be added in the DLC 17, or really any DLC in the future for that matter on Xenoverse 2, because who knows, DLC 17 very well could not be the last one. We could see a DLC 18, 19, 20, like it's honestly an unknown when they will actually stop the DLC production for this game, because I mean the amount of DLCs we already have now, nobody would have ever expected, and I don't think you really see DLCs like this on any game, especially when the DLCs are packs. Like maybe in other fighting games you might have 16 DLCs, but they're all individual characters. These are packs that we get on Xenoverse 2. So again, we have no idea when the DLC will actually stop. So if and when we do get another Awoken, like I said, I would like to be Super Saiyan 4, but in today's video I want to talk about how this Awoken should work if it were to actually be added in to Xenoverse 2. Now, out of all Awokens that we have in this game, they all are somewhat unique from each other. There is something different about them from each other, and more in particularly with the newer ones, they are adding in little different things that make them that much more unique from other Awokens. For example, Super Saiyan God, it had the unique timing with the combos just like Super Saiyan God Vegeta did. That was a very cool addition for that Awoken skill. Beast is one that comes with, well, its own combo variation. That is something that I think is a very cool idea for an Awoken skill, and personally, one that I don't think I ever would have thought of. Like, when they did that, it really caught me out of left field, because that's something I did not expect at all, but at the same time, something that is very cool, and it makes Beast unique without a doubt. So what would Super Saiyan 4 have to make it unique, and what would its stats look like? That's what I really want to talk about right here. And first and foremost, let's talk about the stat increases. Now, Super Saiyan 4, out of all Awokens, this one just gives me that primal vibe that I just want to beat your ass vibe with, right? So with that vibe, personally, I think of strike-based stuff. I think of strike-based and normal-based attacks. Personally, I don't think an Awoken skill like this necessarily needs to have any key-based stats at all, because to me, for example, Super Saiyan 3 in this game, that is a build. If I were to make a Super Saiyan 3 build, I would have 0 points applied to my key-based skills. Even though you do get, I believe, a 10% increase to your key-based skills, it's not the same as that 20% increase you're getting to your strike-based skills. So again, if I was to make a Super Saiyan 3 build, I definitely would go all strike and no key-based stuff at all, making that 10% increase, in my opinion, well, pretty unnecessary. And that is how I would approach Super Saiyan 4, because personally, I don't think it needs a key buff in any way, shape, or form, and that would also help balance it out so it doesn't have to have a major negative effect. Like, for example, how Super Saiyan Blue Evolution first came into the game. It was pretty hard to manage if you didn't have the right build on, and then once meditation was nerfed, well, you rarely ever saw it until this newest buff that it got in DLC 16. So in terms of stat increases, what I think Super Saiyan 4 should get, I'm personally looking at a 35% increase to both basic and strike-based skills. But again, you're getting an absolute 0% increase to your key-based skills. This way, it's not like insanely overpowered, but at the same time, it is somewhat balanced as well, because it's not as overall damaging as Blue Evolution, because Blue Evolution is a 35% increase to all categories, not just strike and basic attacks like Super Saiyan 4 would be. So damage-wise, it would be right there with Super Saiyan Blue Evolution in terms of normal and strike-based stuff. But the reason you would want to choose an Awoken like this over Blue Evolution is because, well, it really wouldn't have the negative effects at that point in time. I don't see the need for a negative effect to be applied to this Awoken skill at that point, because again, it's not like it's giving you a boost to all different attack categories with this Awoken if it were added in this regard. So in terms of stats, that's how I think the stat buffs should actually work. Now, you could do some other things like maybe giving it a little bit more defense, but I don't really think of defense when I think of Super Saiyan 4. I just think of I'm trying to beat your ass and be primal as hell. So maybe a little boost to the key regeneration, just how Beast gets, but at the same time, that would give it a little bit of a similarity to Beast. So I don't know necessarily what they should do in terms of those kind of stat increases and decreases when it comes to defense, key ability, key gain, stamina gain. I don't think stamina should be affected at all. Actually, let me say that first and foremost. I wouldn't mind if key got a little bit of extra, or if they wanted to help balance this skill out, maybe give it a little bit of a nerf. Maybe give you 5% less key increase or key gain when you actually do combos and things like that, or even the 10% debuff wouldn't be that bad either. So in terms of the actual stats, that's how I think it should work, right? But in terms of what unique property should a skill like this get if it were to actually be added in? And I was thinking about this. This is something I was thinking about for quite some time. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I would say it probably took me, I've been thinking on and off about it for like the last week and a half. So after about a week and a half of thinking about it, I've come to one conclusion that I think should truly be the unique feature, in my opinion, at the very least, for Super Saiyan 4. And what I'm thinking for Super Saiyan 4, guys, is not like Purification, where your whole moveset gets replaced. No. But one ultimate change, and it is a brand new ultimate that is only linked to Super Saiyan 4, giving it that very, very unique property, unlike Purification, because with Purification, well, all those skills are available regardless of whether you use that Awoken or not. So if we're trying to make Super Saiyan 4 truly unique, have this skill and this ultimate only be part of the Super Saiyan 4 Awakening. Now this ultimate has to scream Super Saiyan 4 and just that primal essence that I was talking about earlier, right guys? And what I thought about for this ultimate was something similar to Dragon Fist, but actually changed to what Kid Goku does in Dragon Ball against King Piccolo. Now, what Kid Goku does against King Piccolo in Dragon Ball is use a version. It's kind of like the Dragon Fist, I guess you could say. Maybe it was his first version of it, but instead of a dragon being in the background, what you saw was a great ape. That Saiyan essence, that primalness behind Goku and behind that punch that he went straight through evil King Piccolo with. That is something that I think would be really cool for Super Saiyan 4s if they were to actually be added in, and that way they would be unique from all other Awokens in the game. Now, this is something that obviously some people may have issue with, because I did think about what if people were like, oh, but why can't we just have the skill for our CACs? But again, this is something that makes Super Saiyan 4, or would make it, very unique to itself compared to the other Awokens in the game. If you have other ways and other ideas that you could think of that would make this Awoken unique, please feel free to share down below in the comments. But for me personally, one, because I'm such a Dragon Ball fan, and two, when I think about Super Saiyan 4, I think about that primal essence. I think that move that Kid Goku uses against King Piccolo would be really cool to see with Super Saiyan 4. Something similar to it, where it's like a Dragon Fist in a sense, but with a great ape coming through instead of the actual dragon. I think personally that would be really cool, but again, I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, so that definitely could be influencing my opinion and my thoughts on it without a doubt. But let me know what you think the unique ability should be for Super Saiyan 4, and then at the same time, what are your thoughts on my Super Saiyan 4 Awoken, basically, guys? Because this is how I think Super Saiyan 4 should be implemented into this game. Again, 35% increase to basic and strike-based skills, 0% increase to key-based skills, so we don't face a major downgrade or debuff of any kind with this Awoken to help balance it out. And then at the same time, in terms of the unique property, personally, like I said, I think that skill would be something very, very cool, and it would scream the primal essence of Super Saiyan 4 at the same time. Now, of course, with that, for anybody who would have any questions, it would be assigned to one slot, and you know which slot it is, whether it's square, triangle, you know which ultimate is going to be replaced, so you can have your other favorite ultimate that you would not want replaced in that other slot, because there are 2 ultimate slots, obviously, for your CACs and characters in Xenoverse 2. So again, let me know your thoughts on my version of Super Saiyan 4. If you would change anything, what would you change? And if you think a different unique characteristic would be cool for it, what would that characteristic actually be? Let me know down below in the comments. But till next time, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, hope you have a good one. Hey, y'all.